Namo Namah. I am Rani Gupta and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to share a few tips and tricks and a few of my secrets, few of my resources which I have used in my journey of learning Rasashastra and Bhaisajya kalpana in second class. It took me more than 6 to 8 months to actually realize what the subject is all about, and I am sure that you all must be facing the same problem because since childhood we are studying all the modern subjects. We are studying biology, we are studying physics and chemistry, but these subjects like Rasashastra, which is kind of some parts of Rasashastra is included in metallurgy, some part of Rasashastra is used in alchemy. So if you are familiar with metallurgy, alchemy, then I can guarantee, I can assure you that this subject is going to be a cake of work for you. Let's start by the books. What kind of books you can use to kickstart your preparation? There is a recent book by Dr. Amit Kumar Gupta, who is from, I guess, Varanasi, BHU. So he has wrote his new book according to the new NCISM syllabus. I guess its name is Ayurvedic Rasashastra. So what you can do is you can get that book from your local store, local bookstore, and by far it is the most helpful book my whole batchmates have found, because he has provided everything, every single detail in very precise and authentic manner, with every shlokas, every chart and every diagram included. Dr. Ankit Sir's book has both like 2 volumes, first and second, and these both volumes are of Rasashastra as well as Bhaisajya. He has integrated those subjects, those both the subjects in his both the volumes. C.B. Jha's book is just for Rasashastra, and if you want authentic book for Bhaisajya kalpana, just like the C.B. Jha's book, then you can opt for Siddhi Nandan Mishra sir's book. It is also very good. I have used these both books. I didn't get the Ankit sir's book, but these has done like these 2 books have done their parts in my preparation. These reference books are Sharanthar Samhita. It is one of the it is one of the Laghu-3s. It has both both the subjects included in it, Rasashastra and Bhaisajya kalpana. But it doesn't mean that if you have got Sharanthar Samhita in your pocket, then you don't have to buy any book of Rasashastra and Bhaisajya kalpana. It's just a reference book. Few topics are there. He has Acharya Sharanthar has compiled whatever he could, because it is one of the best book for Bhaisajya kalpana. But for Rasashastra preview, you have to get one of the books for your examination preparation. Then there is Bhaisajya Ratnavali. If you are too much indulged in practicals and all, if you want if you want to study about the medicines, more kalpanas, then you can go for this book by Bhaisajya Ratnavali. And then for Rasashastra, see, Sharanthar Samhita and Bhaisajya Ratnavalis were specifically for Bhaisajya kalpana. Now these Ras Ratna Samuchaya and Ras Tarangini. Also, I think your library has all these books. Sharanthar Samhita, Bhaisajya Ratnavali, Ras Ratna Samuchayam, Ras Tarangini. But if you can get your hands on them for for having them privately for yourself, then it is good. Also, Ayurvedic Formulary for India. It has standardized versions of all the kalpanas. Like you will study the Panchavik Kashaya kalpana, Swaras Kalpa Shatsheet Pand, and then your textbooks has already told you that how to make the kalpana, what are its uses. But if you want to make it for pharmaceutical use, then you have to make it standardized. So for that you have to use AFI. It has 3 volumes. Also there is a book Ayurved Sar Sangrah by I guess it is Vaidyarani's publication. Oh my god, I forgot to show you, but I have these books with me. So this is C.B. Jha's book, Ayurvedic Rasashastra. I have used this book thoroughly in my entire journey of second prof. So I have heavily recommend this book. Again, I have this Siddhi Nandan sir's book. I haven't studied that much from it because I had Sharanga Samhita too. So this book, Bhaisajya Kalpana Vigyan, Abhinav Bhaisajya Vigyan. Again, I told you about Ayurveda Sar Sangrah. It is very interesting book. You will find all the dosages, every minute experiences. This book is, you can see this book. This book is compilation of so many doctors' experience while they were preparing medicines for their patients. They have jotted down all the points, all the tips and tricks, what you can do's and don'ts, precautions, procedures in detail. And they have also shared their experience that this medicine has worked. In Samhitas there is a Rogadhikar for each kalpana. There may be it can vary from Samhitas to Samhitas, but it could be more than one. It could be for Rajashna, for at the same time it could be for Grahini, because Dravyas don't just work for a disease. Dravyas work with their Rasgun Veer Vipak, and Rasgun Veer Vipak works on doshas. So it doesn't mean that if a dravya is working on this particular disease, then it doesn't mean that it won't work for another disease. So it could have multiple rogadhikas, but if a Vaidya has found that it could work on this also, in this dosage, in this anupana, but it has not been written in Samhita, this book has it. Every kind of kalpana from Bhaisajya, you just count it, you will find it here. Be it Pupi Pakva Rasayana, be it any kind of bhasma, be it any kind of hymn, font, tel, chun, everything you will find under this book. See, it has Bhaktavya. Bhaktavya is a specific heading for sharing their experience with you. Then they have included matra and anupana. Then there is good and prayog. So everything is included, and it is quite a handy thing. I think every Vaidya must have this. So for next, I think one of my friends, I was not buying this. One of my friends gifted me this. This is Bhaisajya Ratnavali, and I haven't used it much. You can see, I can smell it's very new. So if you are very much interested in practicals and all, then you can go for this. And I must say, you must perform practical for every kalpana, because it will leave you with a visual memory. It will leave you with your sensory memory. When you will be making something, it will use your tactile receptors. You will smell it. Your olfactory receptors will memorize that. So when you will perform it, your eyes, olfactory receptors, optic receptors, everything will be indulged when you will perform a practical for a specific kalpana. So I recommend you to perform every kind of kalpana you can. So let's talk about the YouTube channels I have used. There is no gatekeeping here. I'll be specifically mentioning all the YouTube channels I have loved during my journey, and I'm sure it will be helpful to you too. So first one is Dr. Ram Prasad Gaur. If you will be searching for a specific topic, I guess you will find him. The next is Vishal Ayurved Amrita Ram. So let me tell you a story. I guess it was my half yearly semester exams. So I haven't studied anything about Puti Dhatus, and I was not understanding how their Jaran, how their Maran works. So what happened is that, imagine tomorrow is my exam, Rasashastra exam, and what I did today was I went to his channel and I watched 1 hour's lecture, 1 hour's video of practical students performing Jaran and Maran of that, Puti law. So fortunately it appeared in my exam, so it was a win-win situation. Now the next is Ayur Aushad Sala. Ayur Aushad Sala has also so many practicals, you can watch that. Now Ayurved Adhyayan, or again it was one of my favorites. Ras Rasayan Tattva, dental Ayurveda. Dental Ayurveda, you can use it for machineries, NCISM has included a lot of machines, tablet makers and disintegrators, pulverizers, ball mixing machines, edge runners. So if you want to understand, if your laboratory doesn't have all these and you want to understand their mechanism of actions, you want to understand everything with their diagrams, I think dental Ayurveda is a great choice. Ayurveda Network BHU, they provide a lot of research related topics. If you are studying about Swarna Prashana, if you are studying about Abhraka Bhasma, I'll tell you about their research factors also, like this research have been done and this is what we have found, this is their acute toxicity symptoms, this is their chronic toxicity symptoms, or things like that. Also, they will tell you a lot about its clinical utility. If you are studying about a dravya and you want to understand their clinical utility, I think this is a great channel, Ayurveda Network BHU. And you won't just find it for Rasashastra and Bhaisajya Kalpana, you will find a lot of subjects review there. Now, coming to my absolute favorite, and I want to thank them. If any of these three channels, channels admin are watching my video, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for making this subject extremely special, extremely interesting to me. So first one is Dr. Milendra Chaturabhuj. Lectures for everything, for every topic, but I must say I have studied Parad from you, I have studied Paribhasa Prakrat, I have studied Yantra, I have studied Drug and Cosmetic Act from you, and they were fab. Thank you so much, sir. Now the next is Ayur Yog. There are not many channels from where you can find Ashta Sanskar of Parad. I was so curious when I studied that how can Parad treat so many diseases, how can it be used as a catalyst, how can it be used as a bioenhancer. So I was so mesmerized by the beauty of Mercury, by beauty of Parada, and I wanted to see by myself how the Asar, because to be honest, it is not possible for a BMS graduate to perform Parad Ashta Sanskar in the span of 1.5 years, where you have to study 6 subjects of Ayurveda plus their relative modern subjects too. So Ayur Yog has provided detailed video, step-by-step procedures for Ashta Sanskara of Parad. Thank you so much for that. Also, you will find many alchemy related videos there. So it is a very interesting channel. You must check it out. Now the next is Rasa Hriday. Rasa Hriday. Oh my God, I can't tell you about this channel. I have been following this channel for I think first year, because I didn't know what Rasashastra is, what anything, but I was just mesmerized that this also, these things he is doing, Vaidya Kale sir is doing, and I'll also get to do this one day. So I was very mesmerized, I was very enchanted by the beauty of Rasashastra, how the bhasmas work, and I started watching his lectures. His online NEET lectures are uploaded on YouTube regularly, so you can watch that. He has explained so many clinical cases, so many bhasmas, their clinical utility. You will be in awe. I'm pretty sure. Thank you so much, sir. Also, if you want to watch a lot of practicals, he has a pharmacy called Vaidya Kale sir has a pharmacy called Ras Hriday, and I'm talking about their YouTube channel, which is named the same Ras Hriday. You can find their Instagram account too, named the same Ras Hriday. So he uploads a little bit of glimpse of what he's making, what he's going to do next when he's visiting. So you can check it out. Now the next, I want to share a few tips regarding this channel. I used to feel like a character of Harry Potter. This subject is this much beautiful. Whenever I used to study, I was in some dreamland. I was so mesmerized by this subject, because how can a few simple things, few rocks, few metals be used in medicine, and they can work like this. They can work wonders. How can we change one form to another? Now the next, I am going to share a few tips and tricks. You will find a lot of videos regarding how to study this, how to study that, and their tips and tricks. But nothing will make you a good doctor until unless you don't have to take shortcuts. You have to remind it to yourself continuously that you don't have to take shortcuts. You are a doctor. You have to study everything in detail. What is this? Why do you want shortcuts for everything? Why do you want to learn everything by tricks and tips? Yes, if exams are on your head, then you can opt for few tables, few charts, which you will be revising regularly. You can make a few mnemonics. But I think if you are studying regularly from your first day, then there is no need of that. I have shown you the books, and no one is going to study this, and no one is going to revise this for a period of time, frequently. You can't revise them frequently, so you have to make notes, charts, diagrams, table, flow charts, whatever you want to do, pie charts. Make whatever you want to do with your notes, but make them pretty. Revise them frequently. Make them short. You don't want detailed notes, because if you want detailed notes, your books are there. Study from there. No, let me tell you, there are two subjects in BMS second prof. These are Rasashastra and Bhaisajya, kalpana and Dravya Good. These two channels are these two subjects are very volatile. You will study today and forget tomorrow. So what you have to do, you have to revise it regularly at a proper regular interval. You have to revise everything daily. Make habit of revising it for like half an hour daily. Also compile everything. There is so much content to, I know there are so much things to mug up, but at the same time there are so much concepts for you to learn, there are so much concepts for you to understand. So the thing you have, those things you have to understand. You are going to study that. But what about those things which you have to mug up? For that you have to make what I told you: notes, charts, compilations. Make anything you want. Make flashcards. Make sticky notes, stick them on your walls, do whatever you want. As you can see, this chart, I have made this for authors of Rasashastra, in which century the books were written, what kind of books they wrote. So all these things. Now constant revision is very necessary. I am telling you this again and again. This means it has something to do with the retention power of your memory, retention power of your mind. Because my teacher was Dr. Sudarshan Kumar Thakur sir, and I am his biggest fan. Because he was such a great man. He just didn't teach us the subject. He taught us how to learn the subject. How to actually. He told me to learn how to learn the subject. And I am so grateful for him, because this is the only great thing that has happened in Russia that I have found it. So he used to make presentations, PPTs, and every slide has these beautiful image of the rocks and all the metals, all the dravyas, be it Maharas, Upras. Also, one more thing. Few of you might be learning the names of Maharas, Ras, Upras by making their mnemonics, but you will regret that. You will forget what was the mnemonic of this. You will remember the mnemonic, but you won't remember for what rasa, for what dravya word was it. Because there are so many. There are Maharas, there are Upras, there are Sadharan Ras, and then there are so many metals, so many Sudha Varg Dravas, Sukti Varg Dravyas, and there are so many Ratnas, Upratnas. Use your strategy wisely. I am telling you everything in detail. If you want anything, if you have doubt about anything, you can tell me in the comments below, or you can mail me, or you can DM me on Instagram, however you want, but study the subject. I want good Vaidyas in future of the subject. Let me tell you a story. So when I was in first prof, a teacher of mine, Dr. Himanshu Dimri, he called us all in the Rasashastra department, Rashala. So we went there and he told us to make some, yantras. He gave us a beer bottle and told me that we will make a Kachakupi yantra. I told, a beer bottle? How can we make it a yantra? Because for me, yantras were meant like machines, induction motors and all that, because I have studied physics. So I thought they will fit some, motors and or anything, wires inside the bottle, and they will make some machine out of it. And then he bought two pots, earthen pots, and he told me we will make a dabru yantra out of that. I was so shocked, bhai. How can you make yantra? How can you make machines from to dabru yantra? So I was this much dumb. Can you imagine? But as I started learning the subject, I understood everything. There are thousands of lectures, there are hundreds of videos of fantastic teachers who are very well experienced, very well learned, who are gyata of so many subjects, who have treated thousands of patients. You can watch their videos on YouTube, you can take their seminars, you can watch anything there, find their websites and go and watch that. Make notes. If you still want some masala in it, then for that you have to study Itihas of Rasashastra. It is such an interesting topic. For the first few months, I was so indulged in Itihas of it, because when you will study about the Nagarjuna, how he crossed the ocean with just a leaf, and he went there and he learned Mayuri Vidya. And then there is Acharya Vyadi, how he was so, he was so upset, he was so disappointed with his life. He tore all his samhitas, all his, manuscripts and, thrown it in river. So Vaishya found it and compiled it and helped him financially, so that he could make a talum which when applied he could fly. So it is very interesting to study, and when he was flying, he was in the sky, he went to the Raj Darbar and he said to the king, open your mouth, I will spit it, but it felt very bizarre to the king and he refused. But it is said that if he would have spit in king's mouth, then he would be Ajar Amar. Now, also you should study Brihatrays, because in Brihatrays you will find many references of Rasashastra Dravyas in there. Learn Shloka of Maharas, Ras, Upras. Don't learn it by memory. For Paribhasha, Avap, Nirvap, Jarana, Maran, Bhavna, Mardan. So learn their shlokas, learn their actual meanings, because these are the basic fundamental pillars which will be you will be using in your Rasashastra subject later. Because every dravya has to go through Mardana, every dravya has to go through Marana. When you will not understand the core concept, how will you will build after that? So it is impossible. So learn their shloka, learn their actual meanings and remember it. Also learn about, there are so many confusing terms like Avap, Nirvam, Jaran, Maran, Bhavna, Mardan, Murshan and Murshana. I was so confused in that. Now learn about pharmacies, what are the rules and regulations regarding pharmacy. Learn about Rasashala, how they used to make Rasashala in ancient times, how they used to make Ras Mandapa. So Ras Mandapa was my model for my examination. Learn about Yantra and remember their measurements. Measurements are asked in exams and they are also important for your examinations after BMS for PG and MO exams. Learn how these yantras work, their mechanism. Also, my yantra, I remembered that I have made a video on Damru yantra. The story I told you earlier, the two earthen pots and all. So I have made a video on that. You will find that in my channel, YouTube channel. Put is used in Maran. So learn their types, make diagrams, make flow charts, do however you want to do, but learn it. learn all the grahya and agrahya swarup of dravyas. These are very very important, not just for your you know examination, BMS examination, but also when you will be working in a pharmacy, when you will be preparing your own medicine to give to your own patients. It is very important to identify the dravyas, identification of dravyas. For that you will have to learn grahya and agrahya. So this is very important. Now Parad as a whole chapter is very important and it is very dear to me. I have studied Parad like like a mad person only. You have to learn everything about Parad. None of the topics in Parada is unimportant. Everything is important, be it its paryaya dosa, the minerals, the ores where Parad is found, Shodhan. Also, I have made a video on Parad Shodhana. Please go and watch that. Now, Ashtadas Sanskar. 8 sanskars are named, but you should know the names of Ashtadas Sanskar. Go and learn that. And Ayurveda Prakash has told one more sanskara, so it makes it 90. But Ashtadas Sanskar, you must know their names. Okay. Now learn about all the bandhas, bhushana, chaturved, rasayana are very important. This video will be so long. I think it is, oh god, it is 23 minutes. I have been yapping for the last 20 minutes. I can't make it any long further. Also, if you are learning about a dravya, I'm going to tell you a few points. You can learn it in that manner. Learn about their itihasa and then their paryayas. And do not just memorize. Do not just mug up their names. Learn what does the name means. Learn about mines, minerals, ores, everything about that. Now, the next important thing is, if you are studying a dravya, you must know their types by heart. Ashuddha sevan se dosh. Because when you are using unpurified bhasma, you are not using a proper bhasma who is not made in a standardized manner, it could lead to chronic or acute toxicity. So you have to watch out for that. So Samhitas has already provided that Vanti, Bhranti, Vaman, Bhram, Delirium, these are all the lakshanas. You have to learn Ashuddha sevan dosh for every dravya. We call it organolactic characters. You have to learn that, and if you can learn that stroke, it will be better. Now the Shodhan Maran, make chart of Shodhan Maran for every kind of categorization, like make a separate chart for Maharas, make a separate chart for Upras, like that. Now if a dravya has its Lohitikaran, Amritikaran, Sattva-Patan, so learn that. At last you have to learn bhasmas and their gur and their doses, because at last you are going to use that bhasma only to your patients. So again, each dravya is used in multiple formulations. You should at least know 5 of their formulations where they are used. And then at last learn their research, learn about their research papers. Go online, search on Google Scholar, on ResearchGate or PubMed, find a few research papers of that particular dravya, know what kind of work have been previously done for that dravya, and learn accordingly. Make chart of dhatus and make a interrelational chart of dhatu, their graha, their melting point, boiling point, what kind of alloys are present, how the dhatus are utpanna, what are its samanya maran, samanya shodhan. Go and learn their shlokas only. Okay, so I can make a separate video. Bhaisajya kalpana is remaining. I haven't talked about it in detail, but if you want a video for that, so tell me in the comments. Till then,